वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थ
भारती तीर्थ
विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरौ
विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरौ
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीम्
पञ्चदशीं
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
अथ पञ्चमहाभूत विवेक प्रकरणम्।
महाभूत विवेक प्रकरणम्।
सदद्वैतं श्रुतं यत्तत्
सदद्वैतं श्रुतं यत्
पञ्चभूत विवेकतः
पञ्चभूत विवेकतः
बोद्धुं शक्यं ततो भूत पञ्चकं प्रविविच्यते।
बोद्धुं शक्यं ततो
भूतपञ्चकं
प्रविविच्यते।
शब्दस्पर्शौ रूपरसौ
शब्दस्पर्शौ रूपरसौ
गन्धो भूतगुणा इमे।
गन्धो भूतगुणा इमे।
एकद्वित्री चतुः पञ्च गुणा व्योमादिषु क्रमात्
एकद्विद्विचतुः
पञ्च
पञ्च
नामादिषु
गुणादिषु
क्रमात्
क्रमात्
प्रतिध्वनिर्वियच्छब्दः
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 वायो बीसीति शब्दनम्
वायो बीसीति शब्दनम्
अनुष्णाशीत संस्पर्शः
अनुष्णाशीत संस्पर्शः
संस्पर्शौ
संस्पर्शो अनुष्णाशीति संस्पर्शः संस्पर्शः अनुष्णाशीति संस्पर्शः. It is for the vayu, so it must be अनुष्णाशीति samsparshah. It must be. Okay. Vannau bugu bugu dhvanihi.
वह्नौ
नो
बुभुभुध्वनिः
Because anushna na ushna na shita. Vayu doesn't have ushna. Vayu doesn't have sparsha. So anushna shita samsparshah, that is of the vayu. Anushna shita samsparshah. So for anushna ushna na shita for the vayu. Vayu bciti shabdanam. The shabdanam shabda, it is of the property of the akasha. And vayu as its sparsha guna, it is na ushna na shita. Then in the agni vagnau bugu bugu dhvaniki asti. Then in the next shloka, ushnaha, agni has got ushna sparshaha. Agni has a sparsha guna. So anushna shita samsparshaha should be. Okay. Let me check that also later. Ushna sparsha prabharupam.
उष्णस्पर्शप्रभारूपम्
प्रभारूपम्
Chale bulbulu dhvanihi.
चले
बुलुबुलुध्वनिः
बुलुबुलुध्वनिः
Shita sparsha shukla rupam.
शीतस्पर्शशुक्लरूपम्
शीतस्पर्शशुक्लरूपम्
Raso madhurya miritam.
रसो माधुर्यमीरितम्
माधुर्यमीरितम्
Bhumau kadakada shabdaha.
भूमौ
कडकडा
कडकडा शब्दः
शब्दः
Kathinyam sparsha ishyate.
काठिन्यं
काठिन्यं
स्पर्शयिष्यते
स्पर्शयिष्यते
Niladikam chitra rupam.
नीलादिकं
नीलादिकचित्ररूपम्
चित्ररूपम्
Madhuram ladiko rasaha.
मधुराह्लादिको रसः
Surabhi taragandhau dvau.
सुरभीतरगन्धौ
सुरभीतरगन्धौ
Guna samyak vivechitaha chitaha.
गुणाः
सम्यग्
सम्यग्विवेचिताः
विवेचिताः
Shotram tvakchakshushi jikhva.
श्रोत्रं
श्रोत्रं
त्वक्चक्षुषी
त्वक्षुषि
जिह्वा
जिह्वा
Ghranam chendriya panchakam.
घ्राणं
घ्राणेन्द्रियपञ्चकम्
चेन्द्रियपञ्चकम्
Karnadigolakastham tat.
कर्णादिगोलकस्थं
कर्णादिगोलकस्थं
तत्
तत्
Shabdadigrahakam kramat.
शब्दादिग्राहकक्रमात्
शब्दादिग्राहकक्रमात्
Saukshmyat karyanuneyam tat.
सौक्ष्म्यात्
सौक्ष्म्यात्कार्यानुमेयं
कार्यानुमेयं तत्
यत्
Prayodha ved bagir mukham.
प्रायो भावेत् बहिर्मुखम्
मुखम्
You have to read from here. We know that the author takes up the word idam of the Chandogya Upanishad. Sadeva Soumya idamagre idamagra asit ekameva dvitiyam. The meaning of the word idam, drishya prapancha. Idam meaning drishya prapancha. Prapancha is objectifiable, available for perception. Drishyam. Drishyam means not only seeing, for sight, for smell, for touch, for taste, for all. Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandhatmaka prapancha, namarupatmaka prapancha. That is idam. Idam purvam, that is agre asit. Therefore, this jagat was there. So that idam is taken. That idam is mixed up with sat, Brahma, as though, as it were, it is not really possible. That mix up, granthi, chit, jada, granthi. It is not really a granthi, but it is mixed up in our buddhi. Therefore, viveka. So therefore, here the author, he does the viveka. For the sake of us, he does the viveka between Sat Brahma and this Nama Rupatmaka Prapancha, which is referred to by the word idam. Because of the mix-up, there is confusion, and the confusion can be resolved only by viveka, Panchabhuta Viveka. Why Panchabhuta Viveka? Because it is only available for objectification. Names and forms, they are made of Panchabhuta. That can be known, that can be objectified, therefore. Not to know them, already it is known. In order to know the Sat Brahma, that can be known only after separating these Pancha Mahabhuta cognitively. Therefore, Viveka is done. Panchabhuta, Pancha Mahabhuta, Vivekaha. So that Vakya is analyzed. From idam, he takes the word prameya, the object of knowledge. Whatever is idam, idam is prameya. Idam means of that which can be referred to as this, available for your perception. So it is prameya vishaya. It is prameyam pramana vishaya. It is prameyam, the idam is prameyam. Prameyam meaning object of knowledge. Idam is an object of knowledge. Object of consciousness. Idam. Object of knowledge, that can only become an object of knowledge which can be the object of consciousness. But consciousness cannot become the object of consciousness. That is not possible. It is like the light illumining itself. Light can only illumine the objects in a dark room. So light cannot illumine itself. So therefore, the idam, which is the object of knowledge, prameyam, the pramana vishaya, it is taken up, but it's pratyaksha, anumana, and shastra pramanam. Each pramanam, has its own area of operation. Now the idam, which is by which the jagat is referred to, And Jagat is made of Bhuta, Stula Bhuta. Stula Bhuta has come from Sukshma Bhuta. Sukshma Bhuta has come from what? So iti, going down, therefore it ends up in Pancha Mahabhuta. So that's why he starts from here. So the author, he dilates a topic, dilates a topic, presenting elaborately, so that we don't miss anything. Everything is small details are also covered. So therefore here the Viveka is done. 5 bhutas, Pancha Mahabhutani, and the 5 attributes of each elements are given. Akasha, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi, and the respective gunas, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gunaha, 5 gunas, Kramat. Akasha is the father, his son is Vayu. So Akasha guna is there in Vayu, and his son is Agni. Agni will have both the gunas, Akasha and Vayu. Down the line, Prithvi enjoys all the properties of the preceding elements, and Akasha has got only one guna. Therefore, only it is subtlest, Prithvi is grossest. Now, the author shows here how the property of the elements are inherred in the other subsequent following elements. Yata, the Akasha guna, bisi bisi iti shabdanam vayu. In the Vayu, there is a shabdanam, bisi bisi iti. And in the Agni, bhugu bhugu dhvanihi, the dhvani, that is of the Akasha. In the Jalam, in the water, Jale bulu bulu dhvanihi, and Bhumau kadakada shabdaha. So the Akasha guna, that Shabda guna is seen, is shuyate in all the subsequent the elements. So inners in all the other elements. Similarly, Vayu is na ushnaha na shitaha. But what about in the Agni? In the Agni, it is ushnaha, ushnasparshaha. And in the Rasa, in the Jala, in the Jalam, it is shitasparshaha. And in the Prithvi, Katinyam, that is a sparsha, hardness. It is hard. Katinyam sparsha. Sparsha gunaha. Sparsha guna is seen in Agni, Apaha, and Prithvi. And Agni guna, which is Rupam, in the Agni Prabha Rupam. What about in the water, in the Jalam? It is Shukla Rupam. Shukla Rupam means colorless. And in the Prithvi, Neeladikam Chitta Rupam, in the form of different colors, Neela, Pita, Ityadi, Chitra Rupam. That is Agni. Agni Guna can be seen in the following the elements, that is water and Prithvi. Sorry, this Apa, the Guna of Apa, water. The Guna of Agni can be seen in water and Prithvi. Similarly, the Guna of the water, which is water has got, Jalam has got Rasa, Madhurya. And in the Prithvi, it is Madhuramli, Madhura Amla Adika. Madhuram Adikaha, Rasaha can be seen in, can be perceived in the earth, in the Prithvi. And Prithvi has its own guna. That is not further hinder because it only 5 bhutas. So Prithvi has got the guna, what guna? Gandha. 2 types of gandha. Surabhi, Itara gandha. Surabhi gandha, Itara gandha. Sugandha, Durgandha. Iti dvau gunaha, dvau gunau staha, dvau gunau staha, Prithvyam. So therefore, all the gunas are, you can see in the Prithvi. So therefore, the guna of each element continues in other elements that in the gross elements we can see. That is our perception. It's available for our perception. Using pratyakshadi pramana, we know. What gives this perception? The sense organs. Sense organs are 5. Shotram, Tuk, Chakshuhu, Jakhva, Granam, iti Indriya Panchakam. These Indriyas, through these Indriyas, these gunas are perceived. Now, where are these Indriyas located? Now, the place of location. That is said in this shloka number 7. 5 gunas are there in the elements, bhutas, and these are perceived by the Indriyas. Now, what is the location? Where are they located? Karnadi Golakastam. Karna Adi. Adi Padat. Anya Indriyani. Shotram, Taka, Chakshu, Jigva, Rasana, Granendriyamiti. Adi Padat. Karna Adihi. Yesham Te. Karnadihi. Karnadinam. Golakaha. Karnadi. Golakam. Tasmin. Tishtati. Karnadi. Golakastam. So Bhaguvidi Garbha Saptami Tatpurusha Samasaha. So in the Karnadi Golaka, Golaka means the physical aperture, the physical, it's a physical that is available for anatomical discovery, or it is available for direct touch perception. Golaka is available. Golaka can be perceived by the other sense organ. But sense organ itself cannot be perceived. Sense organs, the presence of sense organs only Indriyani can be inferred. See, we use the word sense organ for both Sukshma Indriyani, that also we use sense organs. For Stula also we have to use, we are using, not we have to use, we are using sense organs. But Stula is Golaka. So Karnadi Golaka, in the ear, physical ear, is the location of the sense organ of hearing. The sense organ of hearing is Indriya, that is located in the Karna. So Karnendriya we say and Karna Golaka we say. So when we use Karna Golaka means it is the locus, it is a aperture, the physical ears where the sense organ of hearing is located. So Karnadi Golakas. Karne, Karna Golake, Karnendriyam Tishtati. Shrotrendriye, Shrotrendriyam Tishtati. Similarly, Netrendriye, Netra Golake, Netra Golake, Chakshurendriyam Tishtati. Tadvateva. Every Golaka, in every Golaka, there is respective sense organ. So, the sense organs which are there in the Golaka, through which Shabdadi Gragakam Bhavati Kramat. Gragakaha. This are the Gragaka. They are the receiver. Receiver of what? Receiver of information. Shabdadi Gragaka. They are the receiver of information. Receiver of the sense objects. Sense objects are received. So therefore, they are the Gragaka. That's why sense organs are the reporters, faithful reporters. They receive and report to the mind. Or it is received. Of course, mind is there. With the help of mind only, in the presence of mind only, sense organs can function. And then it is reported to the mind, and mind plays a role of buddhi and then decide and conclusively arrive at what the object is. And based on that, take decision, etc. So, Gragaka. Now, this sense organs, they are formed of subtle elements. Sukshma, Pancha, Maha, Bhuta. Therefore, they are not available for perception. Why sense organs are not available for perception? Sense organs are not available for perception, therefore you cannot prove it by perception. See, so-called this Lokayatana, that Charuvakas are the materialistic philosophers. They believe only what they see. But you tell me, how do you see eyes? But how do you know the eyes see? See, they say they believe only what the organs perceive, sense organs perceive. But how do you perceive the sense organ? For that, there is no answer. The sense organ, eyes are there. With eyes open, the person sleep, but there is no perception. So it implies there must be the organ, the subtle organ, located behind the eyes, which is responsible for sight, and that is not available in the Sushupti Avastha, even though the eyes are open. Therefore, there is no perception. So, therefore, how do you know the sense organs that eyes are not available? If the person sleeps with the eyes open, he is not seeing. He doesn't have any perception. If he has perception, then he cannot sleep. So we have to infer. We have to infer the presence of sense organs. Through sense organs, we operate all our transactions, all our vyavahara in the world is through sense organs. Without sense organ, no knowledge is also possible. And the sense organs are not available for direct perception. When sense organs themselves are not available for our perception, direct perception, then what to talk of Atma? Atma is not available for perception, therefore I will not believe, you cannot say. Then you have to say, what I see also I will not believe. What I hear also I will not believe. What I eat also I will not believe. Rasa. Everything is what? Don't believe. You believe it because your perception, sense organs are confirmed because of our anubhava, our experience of the sense objects. Sense objects are experienced with the help of sense organs. Therefore, why sense organs are not able to be perceived? To perceive that, we need another sense organ. That becomes subtle, more subtle than this. So again, there itself there will be infinite regression. So that is not possible. So sense organs are there behind the physical organs, physical aperture, and sense organs are subtle, therefore not available for the gross organs, for the gross physical sense organs. Since sense organs are subtle, therefore we can infer that they are made from the subtle elements. Sukshma Pancha Maha Bhuta. Sukshma Pancha Maha Bhuta. It can be inferred. How do you infer? They are inferred from the Karya. They are inferred from the Karya. Karnadi Golakastam, the Indriya Panchakam, they are the Gragaka, they are the perceiver. They are Sukshmyad, Sukshma, Ati Sukshma. All the sense organs, where are they? They are located behind the physical sense organs. That is in the Sukshma Shariram. That is we say Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram, is it available for perception? No. Only gross. With gross only, all our interaction only in the gross world. Therefore, gross body only perceivable. And Saptadasha Kaladahi Tishtati, which has got the Sukshma Shariram has got 17 components. Pancha Jnanendriyani, Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadeha, Manasche Ekam, Buddhiste Eka. That is the Sukshma Shariram. So sense organs are a part of the Sukshma Shariram. Therefore, it is not available for Pratyaksham. It is only Anumeyam. That is why Anumeyam, the beginning itself, it said Pramana Vishaya. It is Pratyaksha Anumana Shastra Vishaya iti. They are inferable. Sense organs, the presence of sense organs have to be inferred. Karyanumeyam. It is karya anumeya. From the karya, it has to be inferred. What are the karyas? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, the perception of sound, the perception of touch, smell, etc. From that we infer. So these are the karyas. Ya karya sa karana janya. Sa karana janya. Ya karya, that which is karya, yat karyam bhavati, tat karana janyam bhavati. So cognition of sound, you hear the sound, cognition of sound, that gives rise to the knowledge of the presence of that karnendriya, the instrument. Similarly, the cognition of color infers the presence of the sense organ of sight. Similarly, with regard to all the other elements, therefore they are anumana pramanam. So through anumana we can infer. Anumana kriyalingaka anumanam. Kriyalingaka, through their action, activities. That becomes the indicator for the inference of the presence of the sense organs. So kriyalingaka anumanam. Therefore, these indriyas, sense organs, the nature of that is bhagirmukam paranikani, vidnat swayambhuhu parang pashyati antaratman. They always go outward. They never look inside. They never look at themselves. They never look at inside. They are always extrovert. Na bhagir antaratman. Antaratmanam na pashyati. That is why kaschid dhiraha purushaha is required. A viveki is required. That dhiraha only pratyekatmanam aikshatu. Only a dhira, dhiras are not many, only few, a vivekis. Because others take for granted. But dhira, he inquires. Dhiraha means viveki mumukshu. So, therefore, vyavritta chakshu, he has got the penetrating sight. He's got vichara buddhi. He turns his attention inward, does viveka, and pratyekatmanam, that is by viveka. He gains the knowledge of Atma and therefore moksha iti Katha Upanishad. So therefore, the sense organs are bhagirmukham, dhavet. Dhavet means dhavet, ling lakara. Is it in request or order? Dhavet. Dhavet means gachati, dhavati. Bhagirmukham, dhavati. Prayaha. Generally, bhagirmukham, dhavati. Ling lakara can be used in lat also. We have seen in our Ashtadhyayi class. Lingaha, lati api. Ling lakara can be used in the sense of lat lakara also. So dhavet means it is not a command or a request or a wish. It is gachati. Bhagirmukham gachati. What? Karnadi golakastam tat shabdadi gragakam kramat sokshmyat karyanameyam tat. Tat referring to the panchakam, the indriyani. Pancha jnanendriyani. Pancha jnanendriya panchakam bhagirmukham dhavet dhavati gachati iti. Now let us read the tika. Tesham sthanani vyaparanscha darshayati kesham indriyana. The location of the indriya and the vyapara, the transaction, are shown here. Karnadi iti. So indriya sadbhave kim pramanam iti akankshayaam karya lingaka anumanam iti aha. Indriya Sadbhave. Sadbhave means Indriyas are there. Indriya Sadbhave, with regard to the presence of the sense organs. Indriya Sadbhave. How do you know Indriyas are there? How do you know sense organs are there? How do you confirm it? So Indriya Sadbhave. Kim Pramanam? What is the Pramanam? When something is Sat, when something is exist, you need Pramanam. So Indriya Sadbhava, with regard to the presence of the Indriya, what is the Pramana? Iti Akanksha. With this Akanksha, with this expectation, with this intention, then Karyanu, Karyalingaka Anumanam Ityaha. The Pramanam is Anumana Pramana. Anumana Pramanams Karyalinga, Kriyalingaka Anumanam can be inferred to the Karya, the product, its effect. Aha. Sokshmyat iti. Because why you have to infer from Karya? Why you have to infer from the effect? Because Karanam is Sukshma. Sokshmyat, that is Sukshma. From the perception of the sense objects, only the presence of sense organs can be inferred. Sense objects are perceived, but not the sense organs. Therefore, the Karanam, the sense organs, is Sukshma, therefore not available for perception. Sukshmyat. That is a hetu. Why not perceivable? Because it is Sukshma. Tacha Rupopalabdhihi Karanajanya Kriya Kriyatvat Chitikriyavat Ityadi Drashtavyam. Sokshmyat Apachyikrita Panchabhuta Karyatvena Durlakshyatvat Ityartaha. Rupa Upalabdhihi Karanajanya Kriyatvat Chitikriyavat Ityadi Drashtavyam. That is, because it is Sukshma, Sokshmyat. It is the gross elements are Panchikrita. Gross elements are called Panchikrita. Ungrossified Apanchikrita. From the Apanchikrita Pancha Mahabhutani, only Sukshma Bhutani comes. So Panchikrita compounding, after compounding only the gross elements. So the Panchikrita Bhuta Karya, they are the Bhutani, they are the Karya. Apanchikrita Bhuta, that is the Karma. So with the Karya, the Panchabhuta Karyatvena, Pratham Apanchikrita Bhutanam Grahanam Bhavati, that is not possible. It is Durlakshyatvat. It is impossible for the Karya to point out the Karanam. So that which are Karanajanya, that Rupa, etc., which are Karanajanya, which are through the Karana, the knowledge of Rupa, Sparsha, etc., they are born of the Karana, the instruments, the physical instruments, physical sense organs. So they are the operator. They are operated. They are got kriyavatvam. They do action. They do the action. So therefore, Karanajanyat, through the Karana, they are available for to the Karana only. The karyas are seen, drashtabhya, and the karyas are panchikrita. The Karanas are panchikrita. Karyas are also panchikrita. Karana means that in terms of these physical sense organs. Physical sense organs are gross, golaka, and the karyas are also gross. So you need the karana, the physical sense organ, through which indriya, through which perceives the karya, the panchikrita karya, this namarupa prapacha, that is what is referred to by the word idam. But other way, how is it possible? How can the panchikrita can objectify apanchikrita sukshma bhutani sukshmyat durlakshyatvat? Durlakshyatva means it is dukkhena lakshyatva, it is impossible. It is impossible for panchikrita to objectify the apanchikrita sukshma bhutani. Etesham Subhavam Aga Prayaha iti Paranjikani Vidana Swayambhu iti Shutehi ityartaha. That is the quote from the Kathopanishad. Indriyas are generally it is outward, extrovert. Paranchikani. Paranchi is Paramukha, Bagirmukhani ityartaha. Kani is Indriyani. They are made extrovert. Swayambhu Ishvaraha. Ishvara had created like that. Ishvara had created that Indriyas are out extrovert. Paranchikani Vidana iti. Whether that being destroyed, but it's not that it's not, he don't really destroy as though it is not for destroying the person. He didn't create the sense, Ishvara did not create the sense organs for the destruction of the person. If the person is extrovert, he will not have, if the person is more extrovert, if he is so engrossed in sense objects, he seldom look at Pratyekatma. But there is Kashchit Dhiraha, Pratyekatmanam Aikshatu. There is some Viveki who does the inquiry, analysis, just doesn't conduct his life only by this Indriya Vyapara. He inquires, what is that Indriya Vyapara? What are these Indriyas? Am I the Indriya? Am I the sense object? First, it is not, because they are not me, they are away from me, they are not part of the body. I am not the sense organ, I cannot be, because I am operating, it is Karana and Karanajanya, all these perception, etc. Karanajanya, Kriya, Karya, etc. Therefore, neti iti, the Viveki does finally arrive at Pratyekatma. So therefore, it is Kathopanishad is aptly quoted here. Then the next shloka we will read. Now, up to this shloka, the perception of sense organs of the objects outside are given, presented. Now, the author is going to take us inward, inside, from Bagirmukha to Antarmukha. The perception of the elements of the external world, that is done. Now, the perception of this gunas of the elements, the antaraha, inside means inside our body. That is going to say this what we perceive, the shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, etc. That is there in the body. We perceive that in the very body itself. Therefore, antaraha. So, therefore, indriyas are Bahirmukha, we say, it perceives the vishayas of the external world, Bahir Prapancha, but not only that, the Antara Prapancha also, inner world also. Inner world meaning inside the body. It is Antaram also. How is it possible? That is said here. Nicely, author presents here. We'll read the shloka number 8. Kadachit pigite karne
कदाचित् कर्णे
श्रूयते शब्द आन्तरः
श्रूयते
शब्द
शब्दान्तरः
प्राणवायो जाटराग्नौ
प्राणवायो जातराग्नौ
जलपानेन भक्षणे
जलपानेन भक्षणे
कर्णे कदाचित् पिहिते. Pigita means vidhanam, closing. The shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, the perception of this in the body. The perception of this corresponding to the 5 elements in the body. And guna of the akasha inheres to the other elements. Similarly, the other elements also gunas inheres to the inner throughout the karya. So that is going to say this is with regard to the antara. Bhagigi is over. So inside. Inside means inside the shariram. So with regard to the perception of the objects outside, perception of the perception of objects outside, it is indriya. Now when it perceives the shabda sparsha rupa rasa guna of the 5 elements inside, as it perceived the objects, not really the objects. See, important thing, what we perceive in the outside world is not really the object. Only the attributes are perceived by the sense organs. Any object, any object knowledge, any knowledge of the object of the external world, what we have is really nothing but the attributes of that object. That object itself cannot be known. Only the attributes. Only the attributes of the object. Knowing the attributes of the object is the knowledge of the object. We cannot really know any object, really speaking. Rose is a rose flower. Rose is known with its attributes. Without attributes, rose is what? Rose is, if you remove all the attributes, finally it will boil down only to Sat Brahma. So that cannot be perceived. So what you perceive only are the attributes. Attributes belong to what? This Panchavaha Bhuta. So what we perceive only is Shabda. That's why we say Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. These are the perceptions. Now, for perceiving the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha of the external world, we use the Indriya. What about the perception of the same with regard to that which in the body, inside the body? So that itself very clear. For the perception of sound, for example, if you close your ear, closing the ear, even still after closing the ear, you hear the sound. There is a sound. Karne pigite, shruyate shabdaha antaraha. There is a sound. Sound is heard even when the ears are closed. Pigitam, dwaram pigitam. When the doors are closed, antara shabdaha shruyate. The sound is heard. So therefore it is not silence. You hear the sound. Inside sound is there, the sound is heard. You can check by closing your ears. So antara shabdaha shruyate. Now the sound is not outside. The inside sound is perceived. Therefore, sense organs, if it perceives inside, it has to be sukshma only. How can the physical sense organs, the gross sense organs, perceive this sukshma sense organ? Not possible. No, not possible. Because you perceive the inner sound. You perceive the inner sound, you perceive you have the perception also. You have the perception of the taste, smell, the touch, everything, what happened inside the shariram. You have the perception of that. So that itself shows that sense organs are subtle, that cannot be objectified by the gross sense organs. The perception of inside sound, the perception of the taste also is there inside. The Agni also is there inside. Jatara Agni. We have fire in the stomach. Jatara Agni. Agni means Agni Guna. Agni Guna will be there. That is perceived. When it is perceived, when you are hungry, it is perceived. Similarly, when you are thirsty, it is perceived. So this inner perception, it's called, we call it as Sakshi Pratyaksham. It's called Sakshi Pratyaksham. Indriya Pratyaksham is with regard to the sense objects outside. What about the perception with perception of the perception of this Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha with regard to the with regard to the inside, Antaraha, that is Indriya, that is Sakshi Pratyaksha. Therefore, Indriyas are Sukshma. It's very clear from this. Because even after closing the ear, you hear the sound. It is not the Shabda of the outside world. It is the Shabda, the sound of the inner one. So therefore, Shruyate, Shabdaha, Antara Shabdaha, inner sound is heard. Sound is there. Why sound is there? The sound is there. The sound, Pranavayo, Jataragno, iti. Karnagolake Pigite, Karne Pigite, there is the Sanchara of the Vayu. There is a Sanchara of the Vayu in the Pranavayu, in the Jataragni, Antara Shabdaha Shruyate, the Shabda created by the Pranavayu is heard. So hear that sound. What I mean the ear is not the physical ear. How can you use a physical ear to hear the inner sound? So then what instrument you use? Not the gross ear. You use the Indriya, Sukshma Indriya, the Indriya which is located in the Golaka, Karnadi Sta Golaka. That Karnendriya perceives the sound of this Vayu, Pranavayu Sanchara. Pranavayu is there. That the sound of the Pranavayu, the sound created by the Pranavayu is heard. Therefore, ears as inner sound. Similarly, Jataragni, Jatare Bhavaha Jataram. Jatare Bhavaha Jataram. So Jatare Vidyamanaha Agnihi. Jataragnihi. So in the Jataragni, that in the stomach, Jatarascha Asavagnischa. That also we can take Jatarascha Asavagnischa, Karmadaraya. Or Jatare Vidyamanaha Agnihi, Madhyama Padalopa Samasa. Anyway, you can take it. Both are same only. You get the form Jataragni and Saptami, Jataragnav, Agni Shabda. So that Jataragni, that inner fire, that fire cooks the food. External fire cooks the food. Internal fire, that is also cooking, another cooking, second cooking, digest the food. One is external cooking. First you have to cook the food outside. And when you consume that, inner cooking happens. That is the digestion. Vaishvanara Agni, digest that. Ayam Vaishvanaro Agnihi, comes in Gita. Ayam Vaishvanaraha. So that Vaishvanara Agnihi, Annam Pachyate. That Vaishvanara Agni cooks the Annam. So that sound of digestion, so Udarastha Agni, that sound, Shabdaha Shruyate, when digestion happens, you hear the sound which happens in the stomach. So you hear all the sounds. And that too in winter, you can hear it very well. So, Pranavayogo Sanchare Shabdaha Shruyate, Jataragne Jwalane Api Shabdaha Shruyate. So in the Vayu, you hear the sound. In the Jataragni also, in the Pranavayu, you hear the sound. In the Jataragni also, you hear the sound. Similarly, see, Jataragni is fire. The fire in the stomach. When you are hungry, the fire burns. That is why you shout, in fact. There is a Vakyam in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It's a fact. It's a factual statement that the hungry people are really angry. They get really angry. When the food is not served at the right time, they get angry because the hunger, because of the hunger is converted to anger. When there is slight food delay, then there is anger because there is sound inside, and the sound only comes in the form of anger. Anger is also sound. You shout at people. A big sound, external sound you can hear shouting because of the inner sound. The Jataragni, it wants food. You are not fed that at the right time. So now it is producing sound, and sound only comes in the form of the anger. So anger is only external expression of the inner sound that is due to Jataragni. So Jataragni. And in Jalapane, in drinking the water and eating the food. With this you can perceive that Jalapane, when you drinking the water, there is sound. Jalapane, annabhakshane cha, shabdaga shruyate, and also sparsha also is there. Jalapane, when you drink water, there is, you can feel that shita sparsha. And that too when you are hungry, when you are fasting, that time if you drink water, you can clearly perceive the perception of the touch of the water with your the when you drink the water, you can feel it. When it goes down through your mouth, you can feel the shita sparsha of the water going down. You can feel. Similarly, annabhakshane. Similarly, in eating, there is sparsha. There is sparsha. Sparsha up to the tongue, the sparsha in the form of taste. Tongue plays two roles. One is taste, also speaking. It is taste organ. Up to that root of the tongue, there is sense of perception. Below that, there is a perception that is in the form of the eating sensation. If you eat something which is cool or which is very hot, that perception you can feel. Therefore, shitoshnadi spashaha jataragno jalapane annabhakshane cha anubhuyate asmabihi. So therefore, the sound is there. Perception of sound is there. Perception of the touch, sparsha also is there. Perception of this, the taste, perception of taste as well as gandha. Gandha also is there. That is going to be said in the next shloka, in fact. The next shloka. This shloka is not complete. We have to read with the next shloka. Let us read the next shloka also. Jalapane annabhakshane, then vyajyante hyantara sparshaha.
Yajyante
यज्यन्ते
ह्यन्तरा
स्पर्शाः
Milane chantaram tamaha.
नीलने
नीलने
तरं
चान्तरं
तमः
तमः
Udgare rasagandhau che. Udgado rasagandhau cha.
उद्घारे
उद्गारे
रसगन्धौ
रसगन्धौ
च
च
Ityakshanam antaragraha.
इत्यक्षाणामान्तरग्रहः
तरग्रहः
The jalapane annabhakshane, drinking the water and eating the food. So when we drink water, cold water, antarasparshaha vijyante, there is touch, inner touch. You can feel the perception, touch perception of touch, the water touching. Similarly, cold hot water also. Jalapane, and if it is cold, you can feel it. And vyajyante means manifest, the perception. Antaraha vyajyante, sparshaha Antaraha vyajyante, manifest. Vyajyante, manifest. Passive voice. It is karmani prayoga. Vyajyante. Jalapane. Similarly, anna bhakshane. Antaraha sparshaha. Sparshaha vyajyante. Manifestation of sparsha in drinking water, in eating food. Antara sparsha. So antara shabda is talked about previously. Now antara sparsha also. So there is antara shabda, shabda, vayu, pranavayu, and jataragni. Similarly, it is through other elements. So sound is there, perception of inner sound, perception of inner touch. Now, perception of inner rupam, antara rupam. What is the antara rupam? When you close your eyes, milane, milane, tamaha darshati, when the eyes are closed, what do you see? You see, you see a complete blackness. That is perception. That is rupa only. Black is also color. Black, it's completely black. So that is the rupa. So closing the eyes also, that's the perception of sight. You see the rupa, rupa varna, color. The sense organs, the sense organ of sight, that chakshur indriya perceives varna and rupa, color and form. So the color, the perception of that blackness when you close your eyes, milane, cha antaram tamaha, the darkness is perceived by which indriya? When eyes are closed, you perceive it. So it means eyes operate. The sense organs perceives the inner perception, not only external perception, internal perception also sense organs does. Shabdaha shuyate, sparshaha api anubhuyate, then tamaha api drishyate. When eyes are closed, we see. What about antara, rasa and gandha? That also is that udgare sati rasagandhocha vijyete. Udgara means belching. Udgare, belching, there, that burping, belching. Then there also you have rasa, and it has got smell also, rasa and smell. Rasagandho, udgare, abhivajyete. That also can be perceived. It is there. So udgara means belching. Iti akshanam antara gragaha. Akshana means aksha means sense organs. Aksham, akshe, akshani, napumsakalinga. Akshani. That's why we have pratyakshani, prati. Aksham prati pratyaksham. Akshani means indriyani. Indriyani antara gragaha bhavati. Sense organs becomes therefore the perceiver of inner objects. As it perceives the outer objects, external objects, similarly inner objects also it perceives. Because it perceives the inner objects, therefore it is not physical sense organs. It's very clear from this. Sense organs are independent of the physical sense organ. They are located, or they are the power operating to the physical sense organs. With regard to the inner perception, there is no application of physical sense organ. What I mean by physical sense organ is the physical ears, physical eyes. Without that, there is perception. It means it's very clear it is sukshma, ati sukshma. So, therefore, there are perception of external objects as well as the perception of internal objects. So, ultimately, it is to show that sense organs are sukshma. That is what the author wants to write. We are traveling inside now, from external world to inner world. So, akshani, antara graha bhavati. Why it is called akshani? Very interesting it is. Ashnati vishayam vyapnoti iti akshaha. Vishayan vyapnoti. Ashnati, it eats, it perceives. Vishaya. That's why it is called akshaha. And they pervade the objects. Vyapnoti. So therefore, they are called sense organs akshani. sense organs. Antara shabdaha, antara sparshaha, antara rupaha, antara rasaha, gandaha cha anubhuyante. Therefore, the sense organs. Up to this, external sense organs. That is perception of sense organs of the external world. Perception of the sense organs of the inner world are talked about up to the 9th shloka. So up to this sense organs discussion is over. Then going to come Karmendriya discussion. So the tika for this small tika we will read for the shloka number 8. Prayaha shabdena suchitam kvachit karananam antara vishaya grahakatvam darshayati. So karananam antara vishaya grahakatvam. The grahakatvam, the receptivity, the perceptibility of the Vishaya, Antar Vishaya, the inner Vishaya of the Karanas are shown, are presented here. Kadachit iti dvabhyam. Kadachit iti dvabhyam. Kadachit karnasya pidhane krite. When the eyes, pidhanam is closing, pigitam. Kadachit karnasya pidhane krite sati, sati saptami it is. Pranavayo jataragno cha vidyamanaha antara shabdaha shuyate. In the pranavayu, that vayu and agni, that is present, that is also vayu also present, agni also present. We know it is there. Breathing is vayu, agni is there, therefore only food is digested. There, shabdaha shuyate. Similarly, jalapane annabhakshane api shuyate. Shabdaha shuyate. And in the vyanjate antarasparshaha, jalapane annabhakshane cha antarasparshaha. So sparsha. Sparsha is a quality of the attribute of vayu. So that it can be perceived in drinking the water, eating the food. So abhavyanjyeta abhivyaktaha. Abhivyaktaha manifest. Abhivyaktaha bhavanti. Netra nimilane krite. When the eyes are closed, antaram tamaha upalabhyate. There is perception of inner darkness. Inner darkness means not ajnana. Here there is darkness perceived after closing the eyes. Pidhane krite. Then udgare jate, when belching, udgare jate sati, rasagandho do grigyete, there is both rasa as well as gandha, taste as well as smell. Iti anena prakarena, akshanam antara gragaha. Akshanam antara gragaha, perception of the sense, just the sense organs of the inner world, of the inner objects. Graha bhavati, antara graha bhavati. They are the receiver, perceiver of the antara vishaya. Akshanam iti kartari shashti. So you can note akshanam, it is akshanam kartari shashti. Because why they are kartari? Because they do the job of perception. Therefore, akshanam antara graha kartari shashti. Antarasya vishayasya graha. So it is kartari. They are the perceiver of the antara vishaya. So akshanam iti kartari shashti. The note here, we have seen kartari shashti, karmani shashti. Here it is akshanam. Akshanam indriyas are the perceiver of the antara vishaya. So and that perceiver is given in shashti vibhakti. Therefore kartari shashti. We say shashti vibhakti is not a karaka. That is not really true. Karta or karma can also be in shashti. That is called kartari shashti, karmani shashti. Kartar karmane kriti. That we have seen. Kridyoge. Kridyoge, karta, karma can be in shashti. Here it is karta. Because it is the perceiver. Kartari shashti, antarasya vishayasya graha. It is a perceiver of the antara vishaya. Graha is grahanam. Indriya kartrikam antara vishaya grahanam bhavati ityartaha. So it is a perceiver, it is a receiver of the vishaya of the antara Antara. Antara is inside. Ante bhavaha. It is inside. Inner perception. It is inner perception within the body. Antara graha means antastha vishayasya grahanam. Bhagya graha is bhagyastha vishayasya grahanam. Bhagye yat tishtati tasya grahanam bhagya grahanam. Antara grahanam is ante yat tishtati antastha shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha ye tishtanti ante tasya tesham grahanam antara graha. So therefore indriyas does both antara grahanam bhagya grahanam antara vishaya grahanam api bhagya vishaya grahanam api. So therefore indriyas does both types of perception. Both perception is only one with regard to the objects, the location of the objects, inside, outside. So it does grahanam of both. That's what we call indriya pratyaksha. Even the anger, how do you know the anger? How do you perceive the anger? Through what sense organ? Anger is perceived. Sakshi pratyaksham. You know it. You know that you are angry. You don't use any sense organ there. You know it is perception. So anger or it is thirst. How do you know that you are thirsty? How do you know you are angry? So indriyas know. So therefore indriyas are antara graha, perception of the antastha vishaya, the vishayas of the inside. Okay. The next comes in 10th shloka onwards. Karmendriya going to be talked about. Up to here, 9th shloka, it is Jnanendriya taking the word idam and breaking down that idam into the vishayas. Vishayas are perceived. So after Jnanendriya, it is discussed. Now going to come Karmendriya. That we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद शरणजी.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः शरणजी.
धन्यवादः जी.
धन्यवादः.